So as you can see here, I chose not to go on the bike to this trip because the weather was just it was too far to go, really bad weather. So I chose to go by public transport. I spent a day or so in Fort William, and then I'm heading out now on the bus to the Glencoe area. And as you can see, the scenery is absolutely, it's just mind-blowing. And this is just from the bus, by the way, you know. So we're fast approaching the Kingshouse Hotel, which is where I'm going to be staying for a few days. And you can see where the snow is setting quite a bit. I was lucky here, the driver actually dropped me by the Kingshouse, saved me. It's not far, it's only a little bit further up where the bus would have stopped anyway. And the views straight away are just unbelievable, absolutely incredible. You can see here there's quite a bit of wildlife. The deer just roam around the grounds of the hotel. There is, just to point out, there is various signs pointing out like not to feed them, and remember that they are wild. However, I did witness myself quite a few people just ignoring them signs, and so you can see the famous view there. This is from basically the front door of the hotel. This is just a quick video just to pan around, just show you a little bit of the grounds. I haven't actually checked in yet because I was a little bit early, so I took this opportunity to have a little bit of a walk around and just have a quick look around the actual grounds themselves. So you see just at the side here, there is a drawing room. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you inside because I haven't picked up me. You have one of those little digital key-coded cards, which you only get when you check in, and you need that to enter the drawing room. But this is just the side, a little bridge over what would usually be the river, but the river's, that's, as you can see, is frozen right over at the moment. And this is to the rear of the hotel. And I'll just show you briefly inside. I've checked in now. I've just got my little key card. So I was only on the first floor. Straight away, it's nice. It's a nice, clean hotel. It's a nice place to stay. So as I go in, just a point, because I'd forgotten how these worked. So you need that little card to go in this little slot there, which you're about to see, and that activates the lights. Without that, the lights won't work. So the room's lovely, clean, big enough. This is the view from my window at the rear of the hotel. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's any such thing as a bad view from this hotel anywhere. The bathroom, it's got a walk-in shower toilet, all nice, clean, nice and modern, very well looked after. So I couldn't fault anything. And this is the little footpath now that runs from the side of the hotel. This is actually part of the West Highland Way. This little path runs out and it runs along and meets up with the road where I would have dropped off on the bus. I'll show you in a minute. And it actually comes out right opposite the entrance to the ski centre, which is, if you ever book through Scottish City Link, you'll see that comes up as the actual bus stop there. It will say opposite Ski Lift Road or something similar to that. So you can see now this path meets up with the road. There's a little sign there for the West Highland Way. It's had a fair dousing of snow, and the weather changes unpredictably quickly. As you can see, it was cloudy when I arrived, then it was sunny. It's cloudy again now. Yeah, and you see now, just as we cross over the road, this is I think it's actually called Ski Lift Road. If you're going towards Fort William, that's where the bus stops, and it stops on the opposite side, obviously, if you're going back towards Glasgow. This little cottage here, I think it's called Blackrock Cottage. I took a few photos there, but I didn't get too close. As far as I'm aware, no one lives there, but either way. And this little patch here is this is actually part of a campsite, just to point out. I was talking to one of the girls that works in there, really friendly staff, and she explained that through the winter it's actually free to camp, but the winter season, from what I can gather, I think the winter season actually ends basically when they say it ends. Once the snow's been and gone, I think that's pretty much the end of the winter season. So after that you pay £10 a night. That's for a tent. I couldn't tell you what it is for a camper van. But all in all, a great place to stay, and especially in the winter, you know, if it's free, the views are just epic, unbelievable, like, you know. Right, so I've actually just at the very beginning of the ski lift now going up. I didn't want to show the beginning bit with the staff on because I don't think it's kind of fair to put them on a video that's going online. And you'll be able to see and hear how, firstly, how smooth it is, and secondly, how quiet. I couldn't believe that many parts of the UK on this particular day were having horrendous weather. Bearing in mind it's January, and just in the Glencoe area there was literally no wind. I was quite surprised by that. And the ski lift itself, it was £20. That gives you one ride up and one ride down. You book online. I did it online anyway before I went there, but they will help you in the cafe. There's a cafe at the ground level. Well worth it in my view, but yeah, and it's not overly high off the ground for anybody that worries about that kind of thing as well. You know, I'm okay with them things, but for some people I can get it that maybe they have a few concerns about that. So you're not actually all that far off the ground as you go up, as you can see. Really peaceful, really smooth, and it was a little bit eerie. There's a guy there just walking below me, but other than that there was no one else on the ski lift at this time. I was one of the first up, I think, on the day. It was reasonably early. So and as you come off the ski lift, there's someone at the base to help you on, and someone at the top to help you off as well, for anyone that's concerned about that. So there's a lot more snow at the top. However, I was told there still isn't enough for people to actually go skiing. So the second level ski lift wasn't running. Yeah, and just to make you aware that when you pay your £20, that's only for the first level anyway. The second level is not like a ski lift the same way you'd sit on. It's where you would stand, and it basically hooks onto you, and it drags you up the hill if you're on your skis, or maybe your snowboard, however it's done. This little building here is actually the public toilets here at the top. Nice view. You can see all the ski lift there. Still see there's actually no one else on it, which is a bit weird. I found it a bit strange. Maybe everyone was expecting some really bad weather and decided to skip it today. Some people do turn up later on, so it's not all that bad. And I did manage to get some nice photos from the top here, which I'm going to put the photographs on at the end of the video. Yeah, this is, you can see I did take a photo of that. That's the little the thing that drags you up. That's the second level. You can see here, just in the distance, you can just about see there is another building. That's the actual that's the cafe on this level. I didn't go to that cafe today, as I'll explain a bit later. It's just because by the time I'd wandered around, quite a lot more people had turned up. But I was really enjoying this, getting some photographs around this part. It was just really great views. Shame the cloud hadn't cleared a great deal. The visibility is quite good, but it's once I got up to the actual top, there is a big hill that you walk up, and once you get to the top, it seemed that the cloud was only clear around that little patch, and the sun was actually out. The rest of it was a bit hindered by clouds, or low clouds. As you can see now, as I'm making my way up, the sun's actually out at the top. And it was quite kind of surreal, because it actually went really warm at the top in the sun, But as you'll see in a minute, we make our way over a couple of these kind of these kind of footboards here. They're very kind of grippy for anyone that's worried about that. So there's very little chance you're going to slip. We make our way up. The snow does get a bit deeper in patches. There's only 2 of these that I saw, these little walkways. That one there was a little bit steep to get on to begin with, but it's absolutely fine. Yeah, and as you can see there, you can see the sun at the top, and you'll see in a minute when we get there. It was a bit strange because the sun was out just on that little patch and everything else was kind of clouded over in the distance. Something else just to point out on this video, which I've noticed, is I had the GoPro mounted on like a chest strap, and for whatever reason it's making my breathing sound really loud. I promise you, I'm not in need of a triple heart bypass or any such thing. It just, for some reason, it's just picking up my breathing a lot, and it makes it sound a lot louder than what it really is, as far as I'm aware anyway. So now you'll see, just as we come onto the very top part now, you can see what I mean. There's very little actually in view because of the cloud and the low cloud around. But I mean, it was just really nice and warm where I was there. A little bit of a view over there. Looking back, you can see the cafe in the distance. But looking round over to towards Glencoe or Glenetiv, I'm not quite sure how it's supposed to be pronounced. You actually couldn't see any of it for the cloud. But all the same, well worth that little. It took I'd say about 15 minutes to get to the top there. It's nothing. It's not a great big walk, and once the snow's gone, it'll be even easier and even quicker. But well worth that little hike. So now you can see I'm back on the ski lift now, making my way down. There was quite a few people at appeared at the top there while I was on the top of that hill and messing around with the camera and doing some photos. So I decided to skip the cafe at the top and making my way back down. And it's quite a nice view again, nice and peaceful, nice and quiet, nice and smooth. See a couple more people heading up now. The whole journey, by the way, each way takes, I think it was about 12 minutes it took each way. So it's not long at all, but plenty of time to get some video and some photos and just enjoy it. So just as you come into the base again now, you just kind of shuffle off and shuffle to the side a little bit, let the ski lift carry on round. So the next stretch now, this is now actually the following day, so I've just linked to this. This is at the back of the hotel, and this footpath is actually part of the West Highland Way. I'm going to walk down and find this. There's a famous little white cottage, 3 or 4 miles down the road. So I'm walking down, but you can see the views from this footpath are just epic. 12:30, so we've got about 3.5 hours till sunset. You have to remember that there aren't many daylight hours here this time of year. Sun doesn't come up till about 9, and it's already dark, or pretty much dark, by 4 in the afternoon. So it's 12:30 now. Oh, let's get to the next little spot here, and then I was supposed to be going up over there, over the Devil's Staircase, but I really can't be bothered today, to be honest with you. By the time I'm done here and we get 3 or 4 miles back again, we'll see what's happening. Right, let's somehow get over here. I don't know how. Let's have a look. These little river crossings are always worse when it's icy like this, because you can't tell exactly where it's going to be good, if anywhere at all. So let's take a look here. Is this solid? Oh, solidish. Solidish. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No, slippy, slippy, slippy. But not too worried about it being slippy. We just don't want it to. I think we'll stick to the stretch here. And right. And that is what we've come to photograph. View from the bridge here. Right. Yeah. Right. Have a look. I reckon about here to begin with, and then I'm sure I saw another little bridge, so maybe imagining things. There used to be a little path there, so I'm going to see if that goes over towards that little white cottage. Snow, 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 and on that. Lagan Garth. So we can get a quick photo of that over here. Right, I reckon here is a good little spot to get some. Right. So yeah, I managed to get a couple of quite nice photos here. Like I said before, I will put some of the photos in right at the end of the video. But this was a great little spot, and it made a really picturesque kind of picture postcard kind of photo, if you like. But you'll see in a bit anyway. Just gonna get a few little close-up shots now. So this last little clip now, this is just a quick view of the front, and I'm going to actually leave this video here for now rather than bore you with the whole trek all the way back. So just to say thanks for watching, hope you liked it. Please like, share, subscribe, and there's a few photos coming up right now.